Here's the best thing about Bobby Lee that he probably won't tell you. When it did, Kalila was like, oh, I didn't hear this part of the story.
Woo! Mr. Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
Told me some stuff about you.
Let me tell you, same story he's been telling fucking for years with different details every time.
By the way, which I found shocking. But
the only time he's ever been honest about it was when I was on his podcast with him.
100%. There's always a second part. That's why I want you. I'm excited.
Okay. What did he say?
He said,
I love Bob.
You beat him up 3 times.
Yep.
If I'm a judge, you just go. I'm hitting the gavel. I'm saving the taxpayers some money.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't say I beat him up 3 times. I beat on him 3 times.
What'd you do?
One time I beat him up good once.
Okay, hang on. Let's get to this. He said that you attacked him. You hit him to the ground. Wait. You hit him and he went to the ground. You made him check illegal emails. You're
gonna back up further.
I want to talk to you about.
Okay, but let me ask you
Superman punched him in the back of the head.
Perfect move. Dude, when you get a Superman punch, running in the air, realize you're coming close, and then fucking John Wick. I even noticed, like, well, this is fucking, this was cinematic. And then pop fall. Immediately.
Okay. So, yeah, but you hit him. You Superman punched him. Superman punched him.
You
hit him in the back of the head.
He's going off accounts. He couldn't see. What does he have, eyes in the back of his head?
They barely have them in the front.
That's right. That's after he got me fired off a show.
Like a TV show?
Yeah.
How'd he get you fired off a TV show?
Talk to the fucking people who ran it. It was like, get rid of him.
Why?
Because we were fighting.
Because you beat him up before?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work with somebody who beat me up too. But I want to ask you one more question. Did you kick him in the face?
Well, okay.
Until he woke up, until they had to take him to the hospital.
No, we didn't went to the hospital.
So how many times did you kick him in the face?
No, but
is that why his face looks that way?
That's just Koreans, dude. They're always like that.
All right.
No. That's not telling the whole story. I kicked him in the chest and the face.
Rogan over your shoulder. You got to open him up. Open
him up. I was heartbroken over a girl. He was like, and he was just laughing about it. Yeah. And I knew he was like, had talked to the guy while he was like planning on dating her and didn't just say, hey, no, don't date my friend's girlfriend. And then when he was like, the guy didn't know if he'd broken
You dating the chick with the gloves, right?
Yeah, with the gloves. So he had Bobby call me and be like, hey, are they broken up or what?
Yeah.
And so once I realized like, oh, you're doing recon for him.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, fuck off, dude. Once I realized, I was like, hey, dude, I don't want to talk to you. Can I just tell you one thing though? Can I just tell you one thing? I'm like, dude, I'm actually not in the mood at all. Can I just tell you one thing? I'm like, say another word, I'm going to beat your ass.
Right. You gave him fair warning.
Fair warning.
Right.
He's like, I'm like, I'm serious, dude. One more word. Punched him.
You punched him right out of the gate.
Yeah, right in front of the cover booth at the OR of the Comedy Store.
Got it.
Renazzisi's in the cover booth. Steve Renazzisi. Renazzisi first was like, and then he was like, oh, I got to help. Now, he could have come through that window and jumped out. Bobby,
Korean,
like everyone in comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, like everyone in comedy, also wanted Bobby to get punched.
Really?
Dude, you know how many people came up to me later and go, wait, you could have just punched him? I didn't know that. He was so punchable. It's not his fault. He got caught in a situation.
Yeah. So he went down and you were just like, fuck.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck. I was so worked up.
So then what'd you do?
Kicked him.
In the stomach?
Stomach.
Did you kick him in the head?
Twice.
And how many times did you kick him back in the stomach?
Yeah, I think probably, it's tough to remember, between 2 and 4 times total.
You were heartbroken and
I was reacting like a fucking
You
child.
physically took it out on Bobby,
Yeah.
but he instigated it.
Get the fuck away from me.
He instigated it.
Get the fuck away.
Right.
You gotta like take that advice.
That was back in the day when that meant something. Now, if you do that to somebody.
Yeah. So I kicked him a few times, separated us.
4 times.
4 times. And then he's on next. That's why he was in the front of the cover booth
He
getting
went
ready.
on stage.
Of course he went on stage, because it's a comic.
Goddamn right.
He's a comic. You gotta do your spot.
That's right.
And his face starts on stage swelling up. It doesn't happen right away. It starts after the beating. So it starts on stage getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Wow.
He went and did a spot. I assume he killed. Because he always, especially back then.
Right.
He was a crusher. He still is.
Still crushes.
Yeah.
So what now? You Superman punched him. You kicked him in the.
No. That was the one. Superman punch wasn't then.
There was another one.
Superman punch was number 3.
Number 3. What was number? That was number 1.
Yeah, that was number 1.
And that was number 2.
At the time, he owed me $5,000.
Why?
We were in Tijuana.
Okay.
He maxed out his credit card,
Oof.
and he couldn't get any money. And I stopped booking commercials. I was on a dry streak.
Sure.
And eventually, I couldn't pay my rent. I was out of money. He's still on my TV.
So he's making money.
Yeah. And he had 6 months of my rent that he owed me. And then he was like, oh, delayed. I had to borrow money from Kevin Christie to pay my rent.
So he owes you this money, $5,000.
And he was like, let me tell you one thing. And then we were at the back, and he was like, and I was like, give me my fucking money. And I just like went like this, and he took a step forward, and I was like, oh no. No hospital the first time. No choked him out the second time. It was just a little. He was like,
Oh, so the second time was a choke.
So then the second time was the choke.
And then the third time was the
He got me thrown off the show. So I was like, dude, I was like, and then it was like, he was so punchable and it was such a relief. And so I was like, get back here. And he was like, no, because he realized what he did. And then he was like, no. He starts to turn. He ran. Superman punched down. Then
curled up.
Then the cops got called.
Most evil man in comedy, Ari Shaffir.
Exposed.
Exposed.
And we were talking, we were hanging out, and we were talking, and we was like, you know what? Even all the fucking pain we went through as like young adults trying to learn who we were. Yeah. He goes, I wouldn't change it. I mean, what fun times! What fun times when we were kids. God damn, young comics, no jobs. I asked him once, I was like, how come everybody hates you in comedy? He goes, I don't know. Back then, he's a different guy now. Bobby's great. Bobby, I love Bobby Lee.
Right.
And I loved him before. He's a mentor to me.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
Yeah. So it's even more of a betrayal. When a mentor does that, you know, when he fucking does devious shit like that.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, hey.